always drew that out.
Congratulations, magnificent performance tonight. Seemed like the first 3 rounds you were trying to just figure out, was that the game plan that turned it up maybe around 4?
I felt like I was in control. I think he was trying to figure me out.
Did you feel that you were frustrating him? He tried to lift you up and headbutting you? Were you sensing that you were frustrating him?
Of course. He was a little frustrated in there. That's part of the game.
Last question is, I know it's right after the fight, have you feel yet the significance of this win and what it means in your legacy, your career?
To be honest, when I set my sights on doing something, and I know what I'm capable of, it's not like a surprise to me. It's a surprise to y'all because y'all didn't believe me. But for me, I know I can do it. And I believe I can do it. I just need the opportunity.
Back up, baby, back up.
Terrence, when did you know that you were going to beat him over your right club?
When he signed the contract.
You seem to focus mostly on body punches and you were hitting in that one. Was it your reach that gave you the advantage?
It was everything. He wasn't hitting my body or anything. He was hitting my elbow. I was blocking it, but I think I was the better man.
What was that moment where you were pushed aside by the ring and they suspended they called the timeout for a second, and then started fighting and like it was a 7-7?
Well, I got headbutt. I got cut. I got over the stitches. You see it?
No.
Yeah. He had I got over the stitches, I think.
Hey, bud, straight back. Right here.
What's up, Dan?
Congratulations on the victory. I want to ask you a little bit about the history that you made tonight, and I want your opinion on which means the most to you. You became a 5-division world champion. You became the 3rd, 4th division lineal champion with Mayweather and Pacquiao. You became a 3-time undisputed champion, the first ever in the 2, 3, or 4 belt era, and you became the 2nd undisputed champion in 3 weight classes when there was only 1 champion back in 1938 with Henry Armstrong. That's a lot of stuff.
You hear that? You hear that?
Which do you think means the most? And
All of it. It all goes hand in hand.
can you describe what it all means to you to have? You just named like a whole resume of stuff tonight.
It means a lot to me because, anybody can be a nobody, like I said, and that's all they say out there fighting is nobodies. So what can they say now? Somebody tell me what can you say now?
You say congratulations.
That's it. What can you say? Any words?
A lot of the conversation about the fight was you moving up 2 weight divisions. I wonder if you could describe, like once you got in there, how did it feel in terms of fighting at that weight and the bulk that Canelo tried to put upon you?
I was stronger. I punched harder. And I was just hitting. A lot of people put too much into me moving up in weight and things like that. But like I told y'all once before, Canelo is not a big guy. He's a smaller guy fighting a big weight class. Me and him is practically almost the same height. I'm a little taller. My arms are longer than him. He got a little wider frame. but he's a little shorter. But all in all, you know, we're around the same size. So by y'all saying, oh, Canelo is this massive size, it was kind of like disrespect. Then when y'all see me weigh in, and y'all say, oh, well, they not the same. It's not a big difference.
And then lastly, then, what was his power like? Have you been hit by anybody that strong before?
Being hit harder.
No, he had a real fight, not as
A
far.
real fight. Avenesian, I'm not Avenesian, but he was shooting no harder than Canelo to me. To be honest.
Congratulations.
Terrence Ray, congratulations on a historic accomplishment. Would you consider this your signature win of your career, or is there another win that means more to you?
No, for sure, this is definitely a signature, man. You know, moving up 2 weight classes in the knee side, fighting a guy that's been undefeated in the division, undisputed, going to take all his titles, you know, doing everything that I said I was going to do. Of course, this means a lot. You know, my other undisputed runs, you know, I had titles, things like that. So I was coming in as a champion as well. But this one, you know, I was coming in as an underdog, no championship belts, you know, and I feel like everything was on the line.
At any point, did you feel you had to make adjustments in the ring?
Well, you know, around like the 6th round, I felt like I needed to step it up a little more, you know, getting more control of the fight, because the fight was going like seesaw effect.
And when you were announced as the winner, you went down on one knee. Can you just describe how that moment felt to you and what was going on in your mind?
No, I knew I won. When the last bell round, I knew I won. You know, but like I said before, God don't make no mistakes, and it's no mistake that, you know, I'm here for a reason. And I've been telling y'all that all week, that it's God's plan, not my plan. I just, you know, carried out his mission.
Terrence, when we spoke on Tuesday, you talked about a lot about your preparation and how confident you would, in leading up to this, and how you would break this fight down and how it was going to go. Did it go exactly to plan as you prepared for this for the last couple of months? Was it each round? Did it go as planned?
Of course, you know, everything that we set our sights on to do in the fight, you know, we executed. You know, I wanted to do a little more, but my coaches wanted me to keep doing what I was doing that was working. You know, so I had to make sure that I was disciplined and keep doing what was working.
And I know you said you weren't surprised, obviously, in how you dominated, but was there any surprise that as the fight went on, he typically feeds off those later rounds and builds momentum, but it appeared that he got more frustrated and weaker maybe, or less conditioned? Did that surprise you at all?
I don't think he was less conditioned or anything. You know, I just think I was a better man. I think you got giving him enough credit, and you're trying to take things away from him. He was 1,000% prepared. You know, I just think I was a better man there.
But so much goes on behind the scenes that we never get to see. Long nights of preparation, sticking with the same team through adversity, and many years of preparation. When you look into the faces of your team after achieving this win, how do you feel looking at all these people that have helped you carry yourselves to success?
Oh, I feel great, you know, because they've been down just like me. You know, when people doubt me, they doubt my team. They think my team can, you know, take me to where I want to go because they don't have the recognition of being in a big city and have this big following. But, you know, a lot of great fighters coming through my stable, and, you know, they paving the way, you know, for the next generation. You know, I'm at the forefront, and we ain't doing that but making history.
Was this fight about proving them all wrong or proving yourself right?
Both. You know, prove the doubters wrong and prove myself, like I said, it's a lot of disappointed people, you know, going home tonight. Some of them gonna cry, like I said, you know, but it's part of the sport.
And lastly, I asked you at the press conference the other day, what was your definition of greatness? It came full circle for you by claiming the throne. Now, what is your definition of greatness to you?
Looking at it.
Congratulations. The whole team.
Congratulations on your victory. With the way you beat Canelo tonight, Spence a couple of years ago, everyone's going to start making comparisons with your legacy to Floyd Mayweather. How do you feel you compare with Floyd with the resume you have now?
Listen, Floyd was the greatest in his era. I'm the greatest in my era. There ain't no need to compare either Floyd or Floyd.
You talk the talk and you sure walk the walk. Your confidence and aura is on another level. Could we see a run as a light heavyweight?
I ain't gonna guidance.
Now, would you consider going back down to 154 and face John as the guy who prepared Canelo Alvarez for this fight?
No. I ain't going to 154.
Terrence, obviously it was a great show today. I was curious about your entrance, how you came to choose that song in particular.
Well, you know, it was part of my outfit. You know, the outfit was inspired by the movie Desperado. You know, I can see that the guitar and everything. My great childhood friend, Priscilla Robles, he was the one that, you know, carried the song out and performed the night. You know, it was a wonderful night, like I said. I had Mexicans and Latinos on my side as well, so, you know, it was a beautiful night.
Thank you to Correa walks out that song in the UFC.
So,
Ian Correa walks out to that song in the UFC.
good. Oh, good for him.
There's great line. The narrative of this fight was Clipper's chin stand up to Canelo's power. He took his punches, but to me it seemed to neutralize his biggest shots. I don't know that he hit you with his biggest shot. Do you consider that a greater accomplishment, proving that you have the chin to take the biggest shot?
I was saying, a lot of people say I don't have no defense. You know, I get hit with these big shots, and you know that's what they was worried about. You know, hey, it's only so much that they can say now.
On the stretch of the fight, we saw Canelo drop his hands at some point, shake his head. It appeared to me like he was mentally being broken. Did you perceive it that way? What do you think was going on in those, like 11th and 12th round? We saw Canelo seem to stop fighting for a second.
Yeah, he was definitely frustrated, you know, because what he was trying to do wasn't working, and he did hit, you know, and he's just like, man, you know, he shook his head like, can't believe I got hit with that.
The last one for me. Where do you rate Canelo amongst your opponents? I mean, you're speaking about it as it was an easy night, it hit harder. Where do you put him on the list of your most difficult opponents?
I'm not saying it was an easy night by far. It wasn't easy. You know, it just looked like that, but it definitely wasn't easy. He's definitely, you know, at the top of my opponents that I faced for sure.
Are you open to a rematch?
And I'm open to whatever. You know, like I said, I'm gonna sit back, enjoy my victory with my team, and you know, have my birthday in 2 weeks since I'm old here.
Thank you for a great night. Incredible performance. Congratulations.
It's Andres from ESPN. This is where you talk about how competitive you are and will to win. Did you feel like you had to dig deep in this fight, or do you feel like Canelo just kind of took the fight out of his early? He wasn't able to be as competitive as he wanted?
I think, you know, he was trying to be competitive, but he respected my power, you know, and he respected my boxing ability and things like that. And I think what was frustrating him the most is, you know, all his big shots, I was blocking and, you know, catching the counter. So I think that was really, you know, a big factor in why he was frustrated.
I think you said a lot. When you're going to say, I told you so. And if you want to grow some victories, now is the time to tell everybody once again, I told you so.
Oh, they know. The ones that know, they know. I don't have to say I told you so or rub it in their face. You know, they know and they see it. And you know, this is right here. Is I told you so. Right.
Max Kellerman calls you the goat of this era on the post side. After everything you've been through, man, what was it like hearing those words?
Hey, listen, like I said, the great things come to those who wait. You know, the great always rise to the top. All the time that they blocked me out, said I won't fight nobody, can't beat this,